Hi everyone. Many of you will know I've had some issues with my health over the past couple of years, and I wanted to make this video to share with you some of the things that I feel like I've learnt through living that process. So I hope it can be interesting for you. About 2.5 years ago, I developed a medical condition that I couldn't really understand. I was very thirsty all the time, and I would drink maybe around about 13 litres of water every day, and I'd have to go to the toilet very often as well. So this was pretty frustrating, and it kind of consumed my life for about 6 weeks while I had no idea what was going on. I got lots of tests done at the doctor, but they were pretty inconclusive. One day, things got bad enough that Dad took me straight to the emergency department at the local hospital, and the doctors spent a lot of time testing me. I stayed there for about a week, and they eventually, after doing an MRI on my brain, they found that at the base of my brain there was a little blob swollen up, which was blocking some of my hormones from getting through, which was why I was so thirsty all the time. So they got me started on a new medication, and it worked wonders. For the first time in weeks, I was able to sleep through the night. I didn't have to get up every hour to go to the toilet and drink a litre of water. So that was really good. And after that, getting used to the medication, my life went back to reasonably normal for a little while. But then about a year ago, I was sick with what I thought was a cold. I had some really bad headaches, and I just felt really awful all the time. And I didn't know what it was, but I thought it was just, off feeling a cold. One night I went to bed early after taking my medication as usual, and I had a seizure. I don't remember it, of course, but my sister was in the room, and she called my brother, who called the ambulance, and my parents, and they took me to hospital. They found that my sodium levels were dangerously low, and that there wasn't enough salt in my blood for the body to send those electrical signals that it needed. And that was because I had taken accidentally too much dose of my regular medication. I hadn't realized this, but too much of the medication dropped the salt levels in my blood to dangerous levels, and that was why I had had the seizure. So the doctors told me that I was lucky to be alive, and that I had almost died. Now, I don't remember this personally, but my parents tell me that when the doctors told me I had nearly died, I said, "Oh, well, that's okay. If I die, I'll see Jesus." It surprised me to learn that I had been so calm about the idea of death in my semi-confused state after just having had a seizure. And I guess I realized as I was reflecting on it later that showed something about what I really know about and what I deeply believe about what's going to happen to me after I die. And I think in that moment, I knew that I had nothing to fear from death because of Jesus, and I was just looking forward to being with him. Then, one time more recently, just a couple of months ago, I had to come face to face with this idea of death again. I had been having some seriously bad headaches for a couple of months, and couldn't really work out what was causing them, but when I got another MRI scan done on my brain, we saw that the blob that I'd had before was much bigger, almost 10 times bigger, and there was secondary swelling kind of all throughout behind my eyes and across my brain. So it was kind of no wonder that I was having these bad headaches. In fact, the doctors kept saying to me it was a miracle that my eyesight was still fine, that I could see. It came to the point that they decided they should get a biopsy done, so to drill in through the side of my skull and take a small sample of the tissue that was swollen up so they could work out what it was. This is not a simple or easy sort of procedure. So I guess for me, that meant that I had to make a decision about whether I was going to let someone cut my head open and drill into my brain. And I think I knew that there was a roughly 1 to 3% risk of significant consequences, possibly death. But I could tell that it was the right course of action. When it came time for the operation, I was nervous, but I wasn't unreasonably nervous. I think I knew that even if something terrible were to happen, that ultimately my hope was in Jesus and in his resurrection. So it turns out I didn't die when the doctors took that biopsy of my brain. And they were able to find out what was causing it to swell up like that. So provide treatment. And even now I'm still in the process of recovering, but it's good to know what was going on there. I think it's such a valuable thing to know that I have such confidence and hope for when I die, because even though I didn't die last year or from any of these particular health complications so far, I will die one day, and so will all of us, right? What will it be like when you die? Are you confident about meeting God because of Jesus and because of his new life from the dead? Are you confident that he can give life to you as well? Well, that's what I found has given me such great hope and confidence. Jesus is the reason that I don't have to fear death.